What's up, Terrifics? I'm Michael Artsis here live in New York City at the War for Planet of the Apes premiere. It is unbelievable. I'm on the red carpet, and this is BeTerrific Spotlight Off Set, and we're having a lot of fun. It's going to be a great night. We're going to bring you a lot of great action, the actors, and a whole lot more. At BeTerrific TV on all social media. And don't forget, you want to join our Slack chat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, real-time, 24-hour real-time conversation. It's free, it's easy. All you have to do is send us an email and keep the positive feedback coming when you do, too. Connect@BeTerrific.com. Now, War for Planet for the Apes comes out this Friday, July 14th, and it is the third installment in the reboot. There were 5 original films. There are 3 now that have been in the reboot, and this one is unbelievable. The CGI is unreal. They basically took the actors, put them in full body suits, put helmets or headsets on them, and they also put sensors all over their bodies. They had them do all the acting and then made the most lifelike apes you've ever seen in your life. It is unbelievable. Now, this story takes place in the jungle, and it's all about the war for the planet, for the apes. We're going to find out a lot more. Hey, how are you?
Good.
That was
how
perfect.
No, perfect time.
I'm great. This is Alex.
Alex Ponovic, yes.
Yes, and you're in the film. You play Winter.
I play Winter, yes.
I'm not going to give away what happens to Winter.
Can't give away anything.
No. But I think what's interesting is how you got into acting, because you didn't start out as an actor. No. You were a boxer.
Yeah.
You were doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And then you got injured.
I got injured, but I also played in a band for a long time since I was doing boxing and playing in a band. I was playing in a band in my hometown of Winnipeg, Manitoba, and a casting director asked if I wanted to audition for something. I said yes, and it went off from there.
That's pretty spectacular. You go from being a boxer,
yeah,
having probably no aspirations to be an actor,
no, not really. I'm a big goofball regardless, but when it came my way, I liked trying things, and this kind of really worked out, and I fell in love with the craft.
What was the first thing you worked on?
A movie called Heads with John Cryer. I played a gay butler, and it was insinuated, I had 3 scratches on my face, and it was insinuated that I had sex with greyhound dogs. Now,
wow.
Yeah, and then I said, I got to do something else because I don't want to be the guy just known as that.
I would think so. So you were cast because you're a good-looking guy, probably, and then did you have to learn how to act?
Well, yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I saw the people that really took the classes and really kind of dove into it, and I decided to study a lot. There's a fantastic acting coach in New York and L.A., Larry Moss, who I just followed and learned from people around me, and I just really wanted to tell stories. And that was the biggest gift that they gave me, is that they gave me an outlet to tell stories.
Was acting school hard or getting coached hard? I would imagine it's a very hard, grueling process.
Yeah, I mean, it's about breaking down and telling the story within. And you know, one of my favorite acting teachers, Larry Moss, said to me, there's an orchestra inside you, and you need to let it play. And that means being as vulnerable as you can and being as powerful as you can. And sometimes that can be scary, even for a big dude. So he showed me that line, and I really appreciate it.
I got to imagine it's got to be hard to learn that and kind of to give in and give of yourself and just kind of trust the process.
That's true, but if you have great people in front of you that are leading you, it's not as hard as you think. I mean, I trusted them, and you know, I grew up in Vancouver and Winnipeg, and I became around people that really guided me, and I trusted, and I got lucky in that aspect.
Now, War for Planet of the Apes is a movie that was shot mostly CGI, which means that you had to wear motion capture suits, headsets, sensors all over your body.
Right in front.
Cameras, right?
Yeah.
And I imagine that's a hard way to act, especially because you don't have the scenery around you. I mean, a lot of things are green screen today, but I think when you have some scenery, it kind of helps paint the picture. It kind of gets you into character. How hard is it to do motion capture like this in this way?
Well, we had a big portion of the film in the environment. That's how advanced we are. Like, we were in the forest, and there was like 150 cameras surrounding us. And so we had some moments in the environment and then in the studio. But it is tough because usually a costume, when you're acting, you're literally going, okay, this makes me feel tough, and I can put this watch on. I like this thing, and like that whole aspect. And with this, we didn't have it. We just had the cameras. We had more obstacles than anything. So it was about using the imagination, and that's where Matt Reeves and Andy Serkis came in and really kind of helped the rest of the team and guided us and really dropped us into the characters that we had to be. We had like a month of Ape Camp that we had to be a part of.
What is Ape Camp like?
Ape Camp, right? Yeah. At first, that's what we were going, oh my God, it's going to be fun. We're going to be going to Ape Camp. But it was, the first week was the emotionality. It was about dropping in and getting rid of insecurities that a male, that a human has. And so we really, Terry Notary was the one that really guided us and taught everyone of dropping in and just kind of being. And then we kind of moved on to the physicality after that. So as an actor, that teaching that Terry gave us has given me so much more growth.
Even though it's motion capture, I feel like you have a lot in your body language that you had to express, but also, and specifically in your face.
Right.
And I would imagine it's hard to kind of act or react like an ape would. And that's part of probably what was part of Ape Camp. But what was that like?
Well, that's the interesting thing. Weta, who was the people that did the motion capture, they really have taken that technology to the next level. So all we had to do was act. And yes, we had to act like a primate, but the emotionality came from somewhere within us. So we didn't have to like play that. We just had to be. And then they took care of the almost like the rice paper visual of putting the ape over that.
But each ape looks like the person who plays them. They really do. They do a phenomenal job, Weta. We know Weta well. We knew Sir Richard Thomas, right?
Yeah.
And Taylor, rather.
Right.
We've interviewed him several times.
Right.
And Lord of the Rings and all of that stuff. I mean, they make the magic. But were you shocked when you saw it?
I was blown away. I was like, I couldn't believe that was me. But then again, I was like, yeah, that's me. Like, I can see that. Like, I remember there was one part in one of the scenes where somebody made a noise behind me, and I just kind of glanced a little bit in the scene, and I saw it. That's how like they capture everything a part of the performance, and it's a testament to their work that allows us to be what we did.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
They did a phenomenal job. I want to remind everybody it comes out this Friday, July 14th.
July 14th.
Great film. Are you a hockey fan growing up in Winnipeg?
Totally a hockey fan.
Jets?
Jets.
What position?
Down, Jets.
All right, I'm a Ranger fan. I'm a New Yorker.
Oh, man, New Yorker. Well, we got some work to do.
Yes, you got. Well, we both do.
Yeah, we both do, but Winnipeg's got some work to do.
The Rangers seem like they're making some good moves right
now. They are. And I love the fact that Winnipeg is, they got their franchise back. That was the big thing for us.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. And you guys wore the John Ferguson jerseys the year after the Rangers wore the John Ferguson.
That's right. That's right. Nice work.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I love those jerseys.
Yeah.
I have a Mitchell and Ness Rangers
Do you
John
really?
Ferguson. Yeah.
You have a jersey?
I do, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a prized possession.
Wow, I'm going to go rob your house.
Okay. Tighten up the security. Note to self.
Yeah, I think so. I'll just ape my way in.
Is that your best ape face? I think you could do better.
Pretty much.
There you
That's
go.
all I got.
No, that's great.
That
That looks a lot like Winter.
That is Winter.
Everybody's got to pay a lot of attention to Winter. Winter plays a pivotal role in the film.
Yeah, again, it was a very complex role, and I was gifted it, and Matt Reeves, I thank him like to the heavens, and that was a very complex, hard character to play, and I'm fortunate enough to do it.
What's next for you?
I have a film coming out with Keanu Reeves called Siberia. I'm on a show right now called Dirk Gently. I'm doing 6 episodes up for BBC America, and I'm hopefully going to be going back to 3rd season of Van Helsing on Sci-Fi.
Awesome. Congratulations on everything. Before I let you go, real quick, what kind of music you like?
Metal, man. Metallica.
So you had long hair?
Oh, I had the hair. I had the flip. And I have the horns.
We'll let everybody enjoy in their head to Enter Sandman.
There you go.
Is that your favorite song?
No.
Which one?
I would say Master of Puppets.
There you go. That's a good song.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
That was a great interview. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right.
He's Alex. You got to check him out as Winter in the film The War for Planet of the Apes this Friday, July 14th. That guy's amazing. It was a great interview. And I think you got a little bit of insight there into what it's like to act, especially in those suits, the motion capture suits. It's not easy. I've got Dan and Joe here, and you guys are from Weta. Now, Weta is a phenomenal organization, and Sir Richard Taylor founded the organization. You guys have won numerous Academy Awards. You're well known for Lord of the Rings and all these special effects. We've interviewed Sir Richard Taylor. He's a great guy. You guys are based in New Zealand, and in this film, you've basically taken all the actors, a lot of them, because some U.S. soldiers don't need motion capture suits. You put them in motion capture suits, and you create the ape around them, and you make them so lifelike, not only to ape features, but a lot of them kind of reflect the actors that they are playing them. It's amazing.
That's what we've been working on for ever since we started working with Andy Serkis doing Gollum back in the days of Lord of the Rings. It's how do you capture human emotion and express it on a unique character? Because being able to create these fantastic characters like these apes gives you entree to a whole new world. Like now we're looking at a very human story, but through the mirror of seeing these apes that are very much like us. And hopefully it gives you pause and makes you think about what you're seeing.
How do you make it so lifelike?
It's a lot of attention to detail. I mean, we really study the animals, first of all, and we also study the actors. And one of the key things you touched on, which is we try to do everything we can to take those actors, their expressions, and make sure that our digital characters can make the same expressions. And that can be a real challenge because chimpanzees have very different anatomy than humans. So they've got bigger muzzles, and some of the rest of the shapes of their face isn't quite the same. So we have to do certain things to adjust the face in order to make the performance really come through.
Now you talk computers. How ridiculous are the computers you guys use? Are we talking, I mean, they got to be maxed out. So 128 gigs of RAM, 18 core Xenon processors. What are we using?
And lots of them.
Yeah. Lots of them.
Yeah.
I mean, are these things just beasts?
Yes. Yeah, it's a big room full of computers. Yeah.
Render farms, I imagine you have your...
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And how many artists will work on a project like this?
I think we had about
800 on this
Did
one.
we hit 800? Peak? Okay, yeah.
Some of them only worked a couple weeks, and some of them worked a couple years.
Yeah, but probably the core was about 450 that stayed with it the whole time. Yeah.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
You guys do such a great job. How'd you get with the company?
Oh, I went down to work on Gollum for 2 towers and never left. Yeah.
And do you think that this is the best project you've worked on so far?
It's certainly, I think, our best work to date. I mean, it's really nice having the chance to work on 3 films like this and seeing all the characters come together and really, have everything firing the way it should.
And to work with filmmakers who are so talented and actors that are so talented, it's a treat that you don't always get. So it's pretty amazing when these projects come along.
Were there any new techniques you guys deployed in this film?
So many.
Yes, a lot, exactly.
Give me a taste, a little.
Well, I mean, a lot of it really came down to the way we do the lighting and the detail for the eyes and for the fur, because it really helps bring a realism to it that we couldn't do even on Dawn.
I gotta tell you, it is so good in this film. I thought the whole film, is this real? Is this a costume? I really was going back and forth. I could not figure it out until the end. And I kind of knew, but I was like, it's too real. It's too good. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on BeTerrific and telling your story. Hi, Amaya. How are you? Great. We're being joined by Amaya. How are you doing? Amaya Miller, what did you think of working on this project?
It was such an incredible experience, and this is literally my dream come true, and I can't believe, it's the premiere now. It's so crazy.
You've been in a couple of small things. Is this your first premiere, major premiere?
I had a premiere for Lights Out, and that was a big premiere, but this was definitely the biggest.
How excited are you to be able to go through the whole process and do this at such a young age?
I'm absolutely ecstatic, and I mean, I always knew that this is what I was made to do, and I would always light up in front of a camera because I was super shy, but now, I mean, I can't believe that I'm here and it's happening.
We got 2 guests, Chad and Max. I don't know which one's Chad and which one's Max. You're Chad. Hey, Chad.
Hey, bud. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good, man. Thank you.
What was it like to work on this project, especially with the motion capture suits and everything?
Oh, it's surreal. I mean, that's unlike any other set. You have to really use your imagination because you're not interacting exactly with the apes, when you're a human role and stuff. And they kind of film the 2 separate and put them together. So it's surreal being able to see it on screen because that's not at all what happened on set. So, yeah.
I imagine that you never really get the full understanding of you have it in your mind, but you don't really get the full understanding until you actually see it, right?
That's exactly what it is, and that's why these premieres with this kind of type of movie is so exciting because we legitimately don't know what we're about to see. So.
Oh, wow, you guys haven't even seen it yet. You're just maybe seeing the trailer.
No, sir. I'm Max. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Max, how you doing?
Really well.
Talk about how hard it is to do this, to use your imagination, completely use your imagination.
No, I wouldn't say hard. It's challenging. It was really challenging to something I'd never done before, but it's so well set up from the last 2 pictures they've made that it felt really kind of seamlessly cohesive.
This seems like the best one that Weta has done. I'll tell you.
Me.
I'm telling you.
The technology is.
They say it.
The technology is so advanced now. You literally are just looking and trying to find something that's not real, but it's so realistic you can't do it.
How did you get into acting?
Oh my God, 17 years ago, just maybe, telling my mom lies and stuff as to why I'm home late. I don't know how to get into acting, I guess. Right?
And you were doing what, school plays or doing skits?
Yeah, we started musicals and then got right into film and TV. Right?
And you really didn't tell your mom?
No. I mean, at first, I was just joking, but they're really supportive and stuff, like with everything I do and stuff, and they always have been. So I think that's actually why I kept in acting, is because of my parents, so give it all to them. So.
How about you, Max? How did you first get into acting?
I was sold into it. No.
That's the best story I've heard all night. Thank you very much, Max. Good night. Oh, no. Wait, so what?
Oh, you're serious? I was like, oh, that's it. I did gymnastics as a kid, and I found a flyer in my locker to audition for a commercial. And I had to go do some backflips or rolls or something, and I got it, and then got an agent through that, and then did a movie, Sandlot 2, in 2005, and kind of went from there. And now I'm this amazing carpet with you talking about being an ape.
That's pretty awesome. And Sandlot, too. I mean, I love Sandlot.
Yeah.
Benny the Jet. Right. And come on, the PF Flyers, they'll make you run faster and jump higher.
Yeah,
exactly.
You really know your game, man.
I got to. That's what I got to do.
Oh boy, nice.
Guys.
Nike for the 70s version, but,
hey, they probably had some kind of, product placement. Thank you so much, Max. Thank you so much, Chad. You guys are awesome. You be terrific. Thank you very much. Awesome guys. A lot of fun. Steve Zahn is joining us. Steve, it's an honor and a privilege to have you on. Thank you.
Wait, it's live. I'd be a good prayer.
What do you think about doing a film like this, having to do motion capture? It's a completely different discipline, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, I'm supposed to say yeah. It's this incredibly weird world where, the technology is, it's not. The only difference is you're wearing a suit with dots on it. But when I go to work and I act, it's exactly the same. I'm just a chimp. The technology, the beauty of it, the reason why it's so great now is it doesn't hinder you at all when you're working, when we're working, right? We don't have green screens and I'm not acting to a tennis ball like the old days. Now it captures your performance, and after they edit it, then the technology comes in and makes you and I look like an ape.
I think what's amazing is how they get your facial expressions and your body language down almost perfect.
Well, they have 51 dots on your face and a camera that's always recording you all the time. So every take is recorded. And those dots pick up every movement of your face. And that's how you recognize Andy and Karen and, Terry and me.
Now, do you, is it hard to act like an ape, to kind of get into that mindset?
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, it's hard to play a mountain man, right?
Sure.
It's hard. It's hard to play a mountain man who's a chimpanzee.
Right. No, I think...
It's double hard. So, it's just that it's a very difficult job.
I think acting is hard because I think I would only be able to play myself over and over again.
I mean, it's the closest thing that I've done film-wise that reminds me of the theater. I did the experimental stuff and the crazy stuff I did years ago.
You love theater.
Yeah, I love it.
You ever think about going back?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Will you?
Definitely.
How'd you get into acting? What was it about acting that said, this is for me?
Oh, I don't know. I did it in high school, and I was really good at it, and I was, in school and young, and I didn't think of it as a career.
How do you know you're good at it? Because lots of kids do it in high school, and Mom always says, Billy, you're great.
When other people come up to you and say, when you're good at it. It's like basketball.
But how do you know how?
You're the captain of the team. People go like, hey, I want to be an act. It's the same thing. Like, well, are you all state basketball? Well, then you're not going to play D1 basketball. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. No, when you've got something. I mean, I can't do anything else other than dig holes, and that's about it.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Well, I live on a farm, and I'm good at it, but...
So it is fun for you, not for me. I'm a city boy.
What?
Dig holes on a farm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I love that.
That's what you do?
I'm not acting. I'm a farmer.
That's what you do to relax?
Yeah, I live on a farm in Kentucky.
Sounds pretty good. If you like it.
Horses, goats.
Wow, pretty cool. Steve, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, right on. Thank you, man.
I really appreciate it. Enjoy. Congratulations and good luck. We've got Karen. Hey, Karen, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You play Maurice in the film.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you have the most emotion of all the apes.
Well, Maurice is a very unique, he's the orangutan, so they're a very special species, and to evoke him is an honor and a joy.
I say this film is very philosophical. I think it is. I think it asks us to ask ourselves a lot of questions. about what's worth it, is war worth it, and all these things. What do you take away from the script and from the film?
Oh my, there's so many levels, there's so many things going on. One of the things I love most about it is the personal quest that Caesar goes on as a character that Andy so gorgeously brings to life, and in facing himself and his worst inner demons. And I think that's quite amazing, like to face up to that, and how does one move through that, the toughest things that you can encounter in self.
I think one of the philosophical questions that's even asked to Caesar is, how do you let go of hate, and when do you let go of hate and anger, and when is it too far? When are you pushing too much?
Exactly what I mean. Exactly what you just said is that essence of that. Oh, and you're wrestling with your like sometimes the most challenging demons to work with, I think, are inside rather than around, and then having to move through that, exactly as you said.
And I think you and some of his other friends make sure, or Maurice and some of his other friends make sure that he doesn't do this alone and help him kind of soul search.
Yeah, and I feel that what's been really wonderful is for Maurice to have arrived at a place that he's confident to function as Caesar's advisor, and even to challenge him upon occasion when he feels he's making a choice that is maybe not the best for him. And it's a wonderful journey for Maurice that way, as his confidant advisor as well.
When you got into acting, did you ever think in your wildest imaginations?
No, I mean, I've been a dancer, I've done years of musicals, I've done so many wild parts, I've played witches and so many hard suit prosthetic roles, and you name it. But no, did I think orangutan was on the list? Never.
I bet Ape Camp was never on the list either.
No, but it's wonderful to go through that journey where when you're first learning to quadrupedally walk and you go, this is brutally hard, like it's brutal, cardiovascular, incredible. And now by the third film, now I found it a lot of training and a lot of staying in shape for it, but I found an ease with it in my body that it's like, oh, it's like breathing now. Amazing, which is incredible.
Karen, thank you so much. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we've got Terry Notary. Terry, I'm Michael Arts. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much. I heard that you had a lot to do with organizing Ape Camp and kind of getting especially the newbies involved. And what was that like?
It's an amazing process. It really is. It's one of those things where they come in and they want to know what to do as an ape, and it's about not doing anything. It's about undoing. It's about figuring out who we are as human beings, what makes us human, what created ourselves. How do we remove the social conditioning that we use to become part of a successful society and to become the identity that we've made for ourselves. You shed that away and all you have is an animal. We're basically animals. And you open up and you become like a baby again, and you feel and you sense and you try to tap into your instinct. And only until you've done that groundwork, then we can start to create an ape.
It kind of forces you to do method acting, I guess.
It is. It's just real. You're in it. You're in it for real. And if you're not, you're pretending to play an ape. If you're playing an ape, it looks bad. If you're being a true, deep, connected human that's just dropped in and deep, you're playing an ape.
I feel like you guys probably ate with your hands and kind of stayed in character as much as you could, especially in Ape Camp. Is that true?
Absolutely. We did hours and hours. We did many trips out in the forest and just without speaking for hours on end. And we really just started to bond in a way that was silent communication, which is what we're lacking, I think, as a human race. We're starting to fall away from just being connected in a simple way where we're just open with each other and feeling things for real and not guarding and putting on this mask of who we are, this identity. So it's a very freeing experience for actors, and it's really great because I think all the actors come out better actors for other roles as well, because they have a deeper sense of who they are and what they bring. And you can use the things that work, and you can take away the things that are not needed for the character.
It sounds beautiful. It really does. And I love the idea of connecting. And, it reminds me of the song The Stranger from Billy Joel. We all have a face that we hide away forever. And
Absolutely.
I like the idea of going down to like our roots and kind of, just connecting with people.
And when you find when you do that, you become more beautiful. It's a really weird thing, but you become exposed and you open up and you allow people to see you and you allow yourself to feel things again. And then you're really living. It's like amazing. You know, you feel like, wow, I'm really living right now. So I've learned so much from Rocket, who I play in the show, that he's the person I aspire to be, you know?
Did you guys play any pranks on each other while you were at Ape Camp? I got to imagine there got to be some.
Sure, yeah. There's some pranks, but we take it so seriously that it's more of a meditative. We're just so real. You have to be so real. You can't play anything or pretend anything. And so everything is just all, I found that the conversations we had became deeper and more connected and real. And everything about it, we became a family, really became a family on this franchise.
Sounds amazing. And by the way, they did a great job. Weta did a phenomenal job putting...
They're the most incredible phys effects house in the world. They understand the process of motion capture, performance capture, and they understand how to translate the nuance, the subtlety, and take the performance and how important it is and bring it into the character. You can feel the soul.
You can. They capture the emotion, and you can feel the soul. You can look into the eyes and see the soul. I agree with that 100%, and they've done a fabulous job with that. And you, as an actor, and all the other actors in the film did a tremendous job. How did you first get into acting? By the way, you're welcome. Very well deserved. How did you first get into acting, and what was it that made it say, acting is for me?
You know, I began as a stunt performer, and then I began as a movement choreographer, and then a director, Jim Cameron, said, you know what, I want to put you in a suit, you're really good. And he let me play a character, and that was my first real wow, okay, you know, I'm an actor. Oh, and once I said I was an actor, I just became an actor. And so I try not to act. I just try to find the character within me that's in there, that's kind of begging to come out. And I find experiences from my life and try to use the ones that are right and pull from things and watch and listen to other people and just become open.
Awesome, and it's a great story. Okay, before I let you go, one prank. Tell me one prank you guys pulled.
Well, let me think of one. We had some funny ones with Amaya, because Amaya's always up for a good joke. She's I don't know. She was all into us eating jelly beans, like booger-flavored jelly beans and barf-flavored jelly beans. So it was always about what we would eat and insects. So, yeah, that was...
So you guys messed with her a little. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You, great talking to you. Good luck with the film, and congratulations. It comes out this Friday, July 14th. Thank you so much, Terry. Hey, Mark.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm very well. Thank you.
So welcome to BeTerrific. We're live, and I'm Michael Artsis, and you're the writer of the film.
I am. I wrote it with Matt, yeah.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. This film, in my mind, asks me as the viewer to ask myself a lot of philosophical questions. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, that's our intention. I mean, we certainly don't like to be didactic and tell people what to think or what to feel, but we try to tell the story in a way that really does at one point entertain you, but also does cause you to step back and say, oh, there's a complicated moral issue going on in this moment or that moment.
So I thought there were a couple of complicated moral issues in the film, and I thought you did brilliant because you didn't answer them. You let us answer them for ourselves and decide. Yeah. And so one of them is, about hate and anger. I guess that's the overall feeling, but also really what Caesar has to decide, and when to let go and when it's too much.
Yeah, that was sort of the journey that we decided to take Caesar on in this, was that we're going to take him to the one place that you never thought he could go, which is to an emotional place that's not unlike the one Koba was in the last film. And really the question is, how can he rebound if he actually attains that much hate for humans? And
I think the other thing is just about war in general,
war is hell. Yeah.
Right. And when and why is it worth it, and when is it worth it?
Yeah, and I mean, the reason we ultimately chose the title War is that it's as much about the war within Caesar and the battle within his soul for whether or not he can emerge from this morally intact, and
Excellent. Mark, you did a great job. I really appreciate you coming by, and you've done a remarkable job with the film. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is BeTerrific live here on the red carpet of War for Planet of the Apes. It comes out this Friday, July 14th, and it's a lot of fun. This is the premiere. We're having a lot of fun. We've got a lot of great actors, and just had the writer on, Mark. Hey, Andy, thank you so much for joining us on BeTerrific. I'm great. How are you?
Good.
You started your career really as like a set designer and dresser, as a craftsman, and got into acting. Really fell in love with it, and then you've become kind of the motion capture guy. You know, you work a lot with Weta. Talk about how Weta's evolved and how you've been able to even help that process.
Well, you know, it all started with Lord of the Rings and Peter Jackson and I meeting and discussing the possibility of me playing Gollum. And at that time, he was unsure of how he was going to have an actor on set working with the other actors to bring Gollum to life. And that basically, well, I went in and started working with him, and you know, originally it was just like to do the voice of Gollum, and I said I can't do that. I can only become the character, and he said okay. So we played the scenes. He watched what I was doing. He said, we're going to follow that. That's Andy. Follow what Andy's doing. We're going to animate to what Andy's doing. We're also going to use this new technology called motion capture, which it was called at the time, and we're going to explore Andy wearing the suit and see if that works too. So it all started with that. My relationship with Weta has gone on for 17 years, and in between that, you know, really the big significant moment was after Gollum. I was going to go back, I thought, to a normal life as an actor in film, TV, and theatre. And Peter said, "Do you want to play King Kong?" I said, "I'd love to play King Kong." And he said, so, and then I realized it was a kind of a real epiphany that this technology would allow you to play anything. That typecasting was over. You can play anything.
Well, you've done a great job. Thank you so much. And in this film, it's better than ever. Thank you. Thanks so much. That's Andy Serkis. And obviously, we got a little insight into his career and into what he's done with Weta and how he's worked with them to make it better. It certainly is the best I have ever seen, and I would say you will ever see, until the next one, right? They get better and better and better, and it's thanks to actually working with actors like Andy Serkis. It's not just about, oh, stand here and do this. It's about actually giving the actors the ability to act better and then having them give you feedback on what they want. You just heard that from Andy Serkis. And so Planet of the Apes, it's called War 4 Planet of the Apes. It comes out this Friday, July 14th. You got to check it out. And I'm telling you, you're going to see the most incredible CGI you've ever seen, and it asks you some philosophical questions that are really interesting. So check it out. I'm Michael Artsis. You're the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special. Thanks so much for joining us. Keep it locked to BeTerrific for everything that's BeTerrific. All right? I'm Michael Artsis. Until next time, be terrific.